After a great career at Northwest Missouri State, Sean ended up teaching at his alma mater, Marshall High School. However, it was at a stoplight just like this one that Sean's life would be changed forever. Because marijuana is illegal under federal law, banks are not willing to work with cannabis businesses, which gives businesses such as Ultra Health a headache when it comes to handling money. When she is not with her family, Karen and the rest of the education department are going to be deliberating on how to best use the data from standardized testing. As of now, they are used to evaluate teacher performance. When Sean Harrington returned to Las Cruces a couple weeks ago, he was remembering the excitement of playing one season at the Pan Am Center. An injury ended his Aggie career, but he continued his success at Northwest Missouri State. After a great career at Northwest Missouri State, Sean ended up teaching at his alma mater, Marshall High School. However, it was at a stoplight just like this one that Sean's life would be changed forever. He was taking his daughter to school when he reached a stoplight and gang members opened fire on his vehicle.
7:30 in the morning, on my way to work and drop my daughter off at school, something I've been doing every day for the last 2 years. She was a sophomore, so for the last 2 years, and some guys mistake my car for somebody else and opened up fire on me and my daughter in the car.
When the bullet stopped, Sean knew something was seriously wrong. Sean had been paralyzed. Sean also had to deal with the pain of losing his mother after she was shot during a home invasion.
That's the reason that I could probably can do what I can while I'm in this chair and can have a conversation with you. Because the pain in this chair doesn't equate to pain of me losing my mom, so I felt the deeper pains.
After hearing the news, Coach Bradford called to make sure he was doing okay. He also wanted Sean's story told. He decided to write a book.
Subconsciously, I think I knew that this was what I should be doing, because I was going to bed at night thinking, you know, what's going on with Sean, and waking up in the morning trying to put the pieces together and try to help him, and it just seemed like something I was meant to do.
Sean says Russ got it right.
I read the book in 2 days, and it wasn't because it was about me. It just really kept me intrigued, kept me reading. I'm not a reader, like I said, but to go through this book, it was well written, and the way he delivered the story.
The support system that Sean received after the incident is something that he will always appreciate.
And there's still dark moments every day. That's something I'll be dealing with for the rest of my life. But because I started out with great support is what helped me the most going through rehab.
Okay. The road to recovery has been long and hard, but he's optimistic that one day he will get up out of his chair and walk. Josie Mills is manager of the Ultra Health Medical Cannabis store in Las Cruces. Business is great, but there's a problem in what to do with all the cash.
Currently, we are being stigmatized by the federal government that we can't be used credit. We can't use any sort of credit cards, any sort of loaning, stuff like that. And that really affects our company multiple ways, and even affects our patients multiple ways.
Because marijuana is illegal under federal law, banks are not willing to work with cannabis businesses, which gives businesses such as Ultra Health a headache when it comes to handling money. But if medical marijuana is legal here in New Mexico, why do these companies have difficulty storing their money?
Virtually every bank in the country, and absolutely every bank in New Mexico, for example, is insured by the FDIC. And that FDIC insurance comes with strings. And among those strings is that you can't accept deposits from cannabis distributors.
Without proper banking, cannabis businesses must be creative with their money and take extra precautions.
It gets transferred up into Arizona, and then we bank it through there through a whole complicated process that just costs a few $1,000s to get the money into a banking system.
And ultimately, consumers pay the price.
It's a lot harder to bank with the federal government always against us, which pushes our banking costs up, which pushes our product costs up as well.
It is still unclear as to what the federal government is going to do about this situation, but Chris Erickson expects something to change soon.
There's as many pot distributors in San Diego as we have in Las Cruces, Pickquicks, and so the consequences that you can't, if you crack down on something like that at the federal level, it's just going to be incredibly unpopular.
And the legalization of at least medical marijuana is becoming more acceptable, even in the U.S. Congress. Adan Contreras, News 22. Karen Trujillo is a mother, teacher, researcher, and now secretary for the Education Department in New Mexico.
It just was a no-brainer to really get to the place in my heart and in my head that this opportunity came for a reason, and really just taking full advantage of it.
And she still plans to make time for her family, even if that means going from Santa Fe to Las Cruces and back in less than 24 hours.
I really just, try to make sure that I talk to all of them every day, or at least every other day.
After spending less than a month as District 5 County Commissioner, many wonder if Trujillo can handle the big job.
It seems like she's transforming the public education department to be more user-friendly to educators across the state.
Okay, good.
When she is not with her family, Karen and the rest of the Education Department are going to be deliberating on how to best use the data from standardized testing. As of now, they are used to evaluate teacher performance. There are many ways the test can be used, but it had to be improved.
We don't get results back until well after the students have left the classroom, and we don't get to see the items. We don't get to see how students fared on particular items and item analysis. One thing is certain, Trujillo is going to be very busy working on standardized testing and a variety of other issues. This school year will be the first in which the PARCC test will not be used since it began in 2015. The format for this year's test is called the New Mexico Standards-Based Assessment of Mathematics and English Language Arts. The New Mexico State basketball team clinched the #1 seed in the WAC tournament. The Aggies defeated UTRGV on Saturday for their 13th straight win by a final score of 88-79. With the win, the Aggies claim at least a share of the WAC regular season title. The game got a little chippy towards the end of the contest, but New Mexico State kept their composure to finish out the game strong. The night was special for one player in particular, as Eli Chua became the 35th Aggie to record 1,000 points in their career. Head coach Chris Jans is proud of his team for securing the #1 seed, but knows there's still more work to be done. Ron Stallworth, who is from El Paso, wrote the book Black Klansman, and Spike Lee turned it into a movie. Stallworth was in Las Cruces talking about the book, as well as his investigation of the Ku Klux Klan. His main message was everyone has a story to tell, and they need to get that story heard.